Hi, welcome to the channel. So last year I put out a video which was my 25 books I want to read in 2025 and spectacularly failed at actually achieving any of these goals. So we are here today, part 2 of a 2-part series where I'm basically reading the remaining books that I have on this list. Part 1 came out last week. I will have it linked and you'll see just kind of how that went. Some of these, well, a lot of these books were fails. I did have one really big hit book in part 1, but now we are back, part 2, and we have 4 books that we need to finish so that I can officially wrap off my 25 books to read in 2025. And I am scared. I will say I'm scared. I definitely have been putting these books off for a reason. And that is partially because they are very big and chunky fantasy books, which while I love fantasy, sometimes they're intimidating. But yeah, I'm ready this week to really give this a try and dive in. So what 4 books are we reading? There is Cloud Atlas, which I am terrified of. I don't know why. I know it spans many centuries, I think. And it's just these people who get reincarnated into each other's lives. Something like that. I don't know. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's about dueling magicians, but the fact that it takes place in the 1800s really scares me because I am not one for historical fiction. It is not my thing. I do not like historical books, even historical fantasy. So even though I've heard this one's really good, I have not wanted to read it. Nivola, I think that this is very politically dense, which I like political books. I do like political fantasy books. Something about this one just feels very dense also. Maybe that's my scary thing. Things feel dense. And Engines of Empire, which I don't know why I'm scared of this one. I think it's just I have not bothered to pick up my coffee, which is somewhere up there. And I'm trying to make my way through my physical TBR as well. Yeah, that one's just one I keep putting it off and I really want to get to. But that one's not intimidating my head. But anyways, here we are. We have 4 books that we need to read this week and I'm really excited, really scared, and can't wait to see how this goes. So I'm gonna go start reading and I'll come back soon with updates. So oh man, the version 1 of this video was not great. Like part 1, it was okay in some ways, but we also had like a lot of fails in that video. We did not enjoy many books. And unfortunately, I'm kind of coming in here with book 1 being a DNF as well. And I hate doing this. I hate DNFing books that are on like lists of things I want to read or books that I am very specifically reading for videos. I hate doing this, but at the same time, I like could not get myself to continue. So I started Cloud Atlas and so quickly put it down. I mean, to be fair, I try to give myself 50 pages. 50 pages tends to be my like minimum of this is what we are going to attempt. If at 50 pages, I cannot see myself going forward, that is when I usually try to DNF. And oh my God, I just could not get into this, could not get myself to continue. And part of the issue, I do know this, is that we started in the 1800s and we're following characters at this historical time. I hate historical fiction, even when it has like a bit of a sci-fi or a fantasy lens. It is so hard for me to get into. And that's going to be, just as an aside, I'm sure a struggle for some of the other books in this video. But I really don't like historical things. I'm kind of realizing right now this is going to be such an issue because my 26 and 2026 is all classic. So fuck me, I guess. But I just really did not like what I was reading. I did not connect at all to the characters. And I know this is one that I believe we follow characters through multiple lives, multiple centuries, and just following their journey as they're like intertwined with each other. I was really not enjoying the writing that I read, and it did not make me want to continue on to see if anything would change in that. So yeah, I like potentially could have kept reading and enjoyed it. I just didn't want to. Really didn't want to be honest. And as much as I hate it, I cannot make myself continue reading it. So we are DNFing that one at 50 pages. And yeah, disappointed in myself for that, but it's what we have to do. I just put on like one of these new lip stains I got in from ColourPop. It's part of their Valentine's Day collection, which I do have a ton of stuff here to put on Instagram. This is the shade Your New Obsession. It's like a glossy lip stain. Really like it. I really like how it looks. So let us talk about the next book, which I've started reading, Nevola. And I really am not sure yet how I feel about this one. So we're following this young man, and it seems like we're following him from childhood to adulthood as he is learning about the world around him, slash his father's role in it. His father's like a politician or some kind of important figure in it, maybe nobility. I think nobility. And I'm not gonna lie, there's like not a whole lot happening so far. And the biggest thing seems to be that his father is this important person. We're following kind of like all the things he's dealing with, all of that stuff. But his father has this like dragon eye on his desk. And so apparently there was once magic in this world. I don't know if there still is, but there is magic. And there was this dragon eye. It was literally pulled from a dragon, and now it's been so many years that it's like calcified into, you know, like a rock type thing. And our main character is fascinated by it. He like is always drawn to it and has touched it before and like basically seen visions of what this dragon had seen before. So there's still some type of magic in this world. But where we are right now, it's really just him in his adolescence as he's learning about this world as a whole, learning about the politics, learning about all the things going on. And it's not really that interesting, to be very honest. Like the fact that there's this dragon eye is kind of the only thing that I find even remotely interesting. Like everything else is just really dragging on, and I'm not into that much else. He has this like foster sister that he's weirdly into, and like there's a lot of things about how beautiful she is and how he watches her, and like he's really like wishes she didn't have the name of his sister, so blah blah. And that part I'm really finding gross. Like I'm really not into that at all. But yeah, I mean, like that part is very much taking me out, if we're being honest. The rest of it, I don't know where this is gonna go. I just know like I'm not really that interested in it. And here we go. Once again, we're having a book that perhaps is not going to work for me. I'm really hoping it turns around. Just so far, not a lot has happened, but a lot of words have been said, I guess. We're done Nevola. I didn't enjoy it. There were some parts that I definitely could see being interesting, and there was political intrigue. There was stuff like that definitely, for the right type of reader, could bring them in. And my biggest issue is that I didn't connect with it. There was a romance that I was pretty grossed out by, you know, like I had the ick from the very beginning, and that did not help. And then there's one very specific line that happens in sex scenes that every time it happens, I basically have to remove a star out of premise because I just cringe so badly and I hate everything. And that was, she was described as milking him. And I can't, immediately we have to remove a star. So this is a 2-star. I think like parts of it were decent enough, and it could have been a 3 because while I was gonna say like it could be enough for a 3-star, but no, I wasn't interested. I didn't enjoy it. There's a lot of things that happened that I just really did not enjoy either, and just didn't feel great about some of what I was reading, and felt really grossed out by a lot of it. So all of those like bring it way down. Like I don't even know what else to say other than it's a 2-star. It's a 2-star. Did not enjoy this one. Felt much more like a bro kind of book in some ways too. Like definitely more dude bro fantasy, but yeah, there we are. This one's done. 2 stars. We're doing great. Okay, I'm truly terrible because I just read this, how many pages? Like 1,000-page book, and did not come in with a single update. And that was a major fail on my part. This was also like quite a few days that I spent reading this, like over the course of a week, and yet could not be bothered once to pick up the camera and talk about it. And I'm gonna say, I think it's very much like I just had nothing to say. I had no thoughts no, I mean, other than I probably would have been continuously coming in and just saying, well, not super enjoying it, kind of bored. Probably could have DNF'd it at any point and would feel the exact same way. Because I don't know, like, I'm really, just as an aside, I really keep telling myself I am going to be more liberal with DNFs, and I'm going to really try to incorporate that in my reading and make sure I'm only reading things I enjoy. But then if I own a book, or if it's something that I've heard enough reviews about / so many people love, I'm gonna push through it. I always regret it. Literally, if it's like a popular book, I will be like, well, maybe literally at any point it might turn the tide for me and I might enjoy it. And it was fine. It was fine. This is not my type of thing. I don't like historical fiction and historical fantasy. Occasionally I can get into it, but this takes place in the 1800s, which I guess is Victorian era. It also takes place during the Napoleon Wars. I don't enjoy things that take place in this time period, in particular like Victorian England, and then give a historical war, drop that into the mix, and it's never going to interest me. And yeah, we're just following like two men in Victorian England who were dueling magicians. I don't care. I really don't care. Yeah, it just I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I really have enjoyed stuff by Susanna Clarke in the past, i.e. I really enjoyed Piranesi, probably one of my favorite books. This one just is not for me at all. And once again, proving authors have wild range. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. Don't have any clear-cut thoughts about it other than I just found it boring. And the story itself was not interesting. I did not feel gripped in any way with any of what we were reading, and that was my main issue. I know this is like a very unsatisfying review, but there we go. I found it kind of boring. And yeah, we're just gonna end the comments of it there. I didn't really like it. Okay. This pen like very accurately represents my mood right now, which is everything is fucked and everybody sucks. There's that. Oh, also I did my nails, and today we have Catacomb by Cliona, and this was part of their Halloween collection, which I'm just getting around to like playing with some of the shades that I got from it. So there we go. Very pretty silver. That always makes me happy. And we are going to talk about the next book, which I should go grab. This is such a beautiful floppy edition, and just a reminder that I definitely need to get like all of my books in this like super floppy fantasy paperback, because this is what I love to read. So here we are, Engines of Empire, last book for this video. And starting off on a very good note, I have to say, we are 168 pages in of like 570-ish, so not too bad. But quick description from the background, because this might help me a little bit. So it's an epic fantasy, a sweeping tale of clashing guilds, magic-fueled machines, and revolution. So the nation of Torwin is run on the power of industry, and industry is run by the guilds. Chief among them are the Hawkspurs, that's who we're following, whose responsibility it is to keep the gears of the empire returning. That's exactly why matriarch Rosamund Spur sends each of her heirs to the far reaches of the nation. So that very quickly is it. I'll just say I'm very interested in this very quickly. So we have this one family that we're following. They are the head of this guild, and there's the mother who's the head of it and her 3 children. One of them, a son, is with the military. So the eldest son, I guess, right now, he is fighting with the military. So he's in the distant frontier to earn his stripes in the military. He faces a threat he could never have seen coming, the first rumblings of revolution. I don't think we've seen that yet. The daughter, Tyretta, she's a sorceress. with the ability to channel the power of Pyre Stone, the magical resource that fuels the Empire's machine. She is sent to the mines to learn more about how this is harvested. And instead, when she gets there, she gets attacked by basically a group of people who live there and kind of taken hostage. And then her youngest son is a artificer and finds himself as the guide to an emissary, and then framed for a crime he never committed. And this crime could potentially start a war. So that's really kind of where, like, that description on the back, very much exactly what's happening so far. Like, not too much else is going on. It is really just setting up the, like, steps for what is to come, I guess. So, like, very, very little outside of that has happened. But I have to say, I'm incredibly interested in it. In particular, so there's, I guess, 4 storylines we're following, all 3 children and the mother. I'm very interested in the youngest son. So he is framed for a murder, and basically as a way to appease the group of people that this emissary who's murdered is from, he is then taken or sent to them, I guess, to be tried for murder. And I'm really, really interested in his story. The mother is also, like, it's interesting. She seems very cold. She seems like she has a lot of secrets, but all of it seems to be to try and propel her family forward in this world and, like, really cement their power, which is interesting. And then their daughter, she seems like she is kind of trying to rebel a little bit. Interested in that, interested in seeing, like, I guess, her story. The only one I'm not super interested in is the eldest son. He's at the military, and when he basically gets this message from his mother saying, I need you to come home, your brother's being framed for a crime, I need you to come home and help. And then he sees that and he's like, nah, you know what, I'm going to show my loyalty to the military instead and just stay here. And I'm kind of just, like, not really enjoying him. But I'm really, really into this book, really enjoying it, really intrigued, really curious to learn more about the world and see more about this magic, because I might be wrong, I don't feel like we've had too much magic shown yet, but I'm excited. I'm, like, super excited, super into this. This is going great. I can't wait. So I'm about another 100 pages or so into this, and I do have to say I am enjoying it. But I think I'm having an issue where I'm not really connecting to any of the characters, and I think it's just more of the characters do not necessarily feel as fleshed out, perhaps, as I would like. Aside from, like, I don't know, like, the mother, I feel like is very fleshed out. Like, she's the one character who I really feel like I have a good sense of. And then all of her children, I'm not really connecting to any of them. And I do feel like there is a little bit missing, and I'm not quite sure what, but that's kind of like the one issue I'm slightly having with it right now. It's just, it is much more of a plot focused book, which, I mean, like, 99% of the time that is much more of my thing. I do typically prefer something that's more plot forward, but I kind of have to feel something for the characters as well, or feel like I'm worried about what's happening to them, or like there's some risk that is an issue, and I'm not really feeling that. I'm feeling kind of like meh towards them. So yeah, that's like my one issue I guess I'm having, is I just kind of feel not as much as I would like to towards the characters. Otherwise, like, I do think that some of the settings are more interesting than the others, and that is a slight issue as well, is that, you know, some of them are more interesting and I'm not necessarily as excited to follow certain settings. I'm hoping it picks up a little bit more. I think that it started off on like an incredible high for me, and just kind of feeling like a little bit like it's starting to lull. So we are coming in now, being done finally, Engines of Empire. And I'm kind of disappointed. I do have to say, like, I think this one started on such an intensely high note for me. And yeah, it just really ended up losing interest partway through. I'm having this issue quite a bit with books lately where I find the introduction to be so intensely interesting and just so many things sound like they're going to be great. And then, yeah, it just kind of goes nowhere. And yeah, I'm very much having this issue lately, very unfortunately. But I mean, so I'm still like, I think I'm gonna give it a 3-star. I think that's kind of where I'm landing with it, where the like first 20, maybe 30% could have been 5-star material for me. And then it just, as it went on, I lost more and more interest, unfortunately. So I don't know. I really don't know about this one. I don't know if I want to continue on in this series. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look at reviews and see if there's anything that kind of like makes me want to continue, because it would have been great to find like another fantasy series that I enjoyed, but alas, perhaps not this one. This edition didn't really go very well. And this kind of happened in my last like part 1 of reading my 25 in 2025. Yeah, only one book that I'm coming out of this like really jazzed about, which is Malice. And I do have to say, where I am right now in life, I've already started book 2 and I'm having a great time. But yeah, I'm like not really feeling too much about any of the other ones. Glad I've read 2 more off my TBR, but at the same time, like no other strong feelings towards them. Could have been very happy just not reading these books. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing. But here we are. We are done with the video. I want to say thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll find some better fantasy reads soon. I do have coming up, we'll be going over all of our fantasy bingo and reading basically a book for every prompt in it. So that is coming up, and you know, hopefully we will find a lot more really good fantasy reads than that. But yeah, thanks for watching. We're just gonna end here. Wish I'd found more books that I liked, but oh well. Bye.